Desmond Tutu was born on October 7, 1931, in the town of Klerksdorp, South Africa. He grew up in a country deeply divided by racial segregation, where laws and policies separated people based on the color of their skin. These divisions shaped every aspect of life, from education and housing to employment and movement. Tutu's father was a schoolteacher, and his mother worked as a domestic worker. Though the family lived modestly, education and faith were central to their home. As a young boy, Tutu experienced the daily realities of discrimination, yet he also developed a deep sense of dignity and purpose. Even in childhood, he displayed a gentle personality combined with a strong sense of justice.
Initially, Tutu dreamed of becoming a doctor, but financial limitations made medical school impossible. Instead, he pursued teaching, following in his father's footsteps. For several years he worked as a teacher in South African schools, witnessing firsthand the inequalities imposed by the apartheid system. The apartheid government had created a racially segregated education system designed to limit opportunities for Black South Africans. Tutu found this deeply troubling. In protest against these policies, he eventually left the teaching profession. Searching for another way to serve his community, he turned toward religious life.
Tutu entered the Anglican Church and began studying theology. His warmth, intelligence, and moral clarity quickly made him a respected figure within the church community. He later continued his theological studies in London, broadening his perspective and gaining international experience. Ordained as a priest, Tutu returned to South Africa determined to address the injustices surrounding him. But unlike many activists of the time, he believed strongly in nonviolent resistance and moral persuasion. His sermons and speeches began attracting attention, not only for their spiritual depth but also for their bold criticism of apartheid.
During the 1970s and 1980s, apartheid policies intensified social tensions across South Africa. Protest movements grew stronger as citizens demanded equal rights and democratic representation. Desmond Tutu emerged as one of the most prominent voices opposing the system. He used his position within the church to speak openly about injustice, calling for equality and reconciliation. Unlike some political leaders, Tutu addressed both local and international audiences, urging the global community to pressure South Africa's government to end apartheid. His courage came at personal risk. He faced threats, surveillance, and frequent criticism from authorities. Yet his voice only grew stronger.
Tutu's message was simple yet powerful. Injustice anywhere was unacceptable, and peaceful change was possible through courage and compassion. His speeches combined deep moral conviction with humor and humanity, making him a compelling figure both at home and abroad. In 1984, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his leadership in the struggle against apartheid and his commitment to nonviolent change. The recognition elevated his global influence and highlighted the moral urgency of ending racial segregation in South Africa. For many people around the world, Tutu became a symbol of hope and ethical leadership.
By the early 1990s, South Africa was entering a period of dramatic transformation. Years of internal resistance and international pressure pushed the apartheid government toward negotiations with opposition leaders. In 1994, the country held its first democratic elections, marking the official end of apartheid. Nelson Mandela became president, and South Africa began the difficult process of rebuilding a society deeply divided by decades of discrimination. During this historic transition, Desmond Tutu played a crucial role in guiding the nation toward healing rather than revenge.
In the mid-1990s, Tutu was appointed chairman of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, an institution created to investigate human rights abuses committed during the apartheid era. The commission allowed victims to tell their stories and perpetrators to confess their actions in exchange for possible amnesty. The process was emotional and often painful. Many hearings revealed shocking accounts of violence and suffering. Throughout it all, Tutu emphasized the importance of truth, forgiveness, and national healing. He believed that acknowledging the past openly was essential for building a peaceful future.
Even after stepping down from official roles, Tutu continued advocating for justice and human rights around the world. He spoke about issues such as poverty, HIV/AIDS awareness, environmental responsibility, and global peace. His moral voice remained influential long after the end of apartheid. Whether addressing political leaders or ordinary citizens, he emphasized compassion, equality, and the shared dignity of all people. Tutu's distinctive laugh and joyful spirit became almost as famous as his activism.
What made Desmond Tutu unique was his unwavering optimism. Despite witnessing immense suffering, he believed deeply in the capacity of humanity to change and grow. His faith shaped his conviction that reconciliation was stronger than hatred. He often spoke about the concept of Ubuntu, an African philosophy emphasizing interconnectedness, the idea that a person becomes truly human through relationships with others. For Tutu, justice and compassion were inseparable.
Desmond Tutu spent his later years continuing to speak about moral responsibility and social justice. Though he gradually withdrew from public life due to age and health, his influence remained powerful. He passed away on December 26, 2021, at the age of 90. Tributes came from across the world, honoring a man who had dedicated his life to peace, dignity, and reconciliation.
Desmond Tutu's legacy is rooted in the belief that moral courage can challenge even the most entrenched systems of injustice. Through his leadership, compassion, and humor, he helped guide South Africa through one of the most difficult transitions in modern history. His life reminds us that powerful change can begin with a single voice speaking truth. From humble beginnings in a divided nation, Desmond Tutu became one of the world's most respected advocates for human dignity, a reminder that justice, guided by compassion, can reshape the course of history.